Welcome to the Unsung Photographer. Hey guys, Bob Kearns, the Unsung Photographer here today. And this week's question, do I really need a reflector? The only thing you really need to take pictures is a camera. It could be film, it can be digital, it can be big, it can be small, it can be your phone, it can be a $30,000 Hasselblad. That's all you really need. Pick one. After that, you're talking about technique and how you accomplish things and tool sets. So the reflector is a tool. So let me give you at least a quick demonstration of what these things can do for you. These are obviously reflectors. This is a big one. And this baby here is probably a medium-sized one. Fairly easy to carry around. And I'll give you an idea what they do. What they really do is, surprise, reflect light. And they do it in a couple of different ways. You can have the zippered kind. Zipper comes off. See if it's handy here. Well, that one's all the way around the side. But here's one. And inside there's a white side, right? And on the other side, I don't know if you see it, is a gold piece. And then in here is a translucent piece of material that you can use as a diffuser, which is really, really handy. I'll give you an example. You see this hard sun that's coming down on me now? So one side of my face is really bright, and the other side is kind of in shadow. So the diffuser can either help soften that light, or you can bring more light in with the reflective material and fill this in. So let me demonstrate. Okay, now we're to the demonstration part of the show here. So I have the big reflector over here, turned a bit, so it'll catch the sun that's over on my right. You should still see some difference. The right side of my face should still be brighter, but there should be some fill light coming in from this side that wasn't before. So if I hold my hand up here, or this other reflector, you should see a shadow. It should definitely get darker, right? But we do have a little fill light there, and that's a little better. If I had somebody holding this, or I had a subject that I could point it at and adjust, and then get behind the camera, would be in better shape. It's a little tough to do by yourself. So that's essentially the primary purpose of a reflector, is to reflect light onto your subject. Now, you don't always have to use the silver side. This one, I've taken off the material and flipped it around and put it back. You can also use the white side. And you can see that that gives a slightly less intense, but still very pleasant fill on my face. It may be fairly bright because I have it close. And just like any light, the closer it is, the brighter it is. If I take it back, it's less bright. You can see it getting brighter there. But that's a much softer, much more pleasant light, and it doesn't make me want to squint. Sometimes the silver can be so bright, it's like shining a light in your eyes, you want to squint, and you don't want that with your subject. You could use the gold, but the gold, I don't know, has a tendency to give a funky color. I think it makes people look jaundiced. I don't really care for it that much. It's an odd color. You can use it. You might want to use it for special effect, or if you have somebody that's really tan, or you're shooting down at the beach, and you, or maybe later in the day when you have a warmer color light. But I don't get much use out of them. The parts of the reflector that I do get use out of, besides simply the silver side, once we take this cover off, one of my favorite things is this. This is a soft, diffused panel. You can probably see the shadow of my hand through it. I hold it up to the light. And watch what happens to my face now. Darker, but it's a much more pleasant and even light, just like a softbox. It accomplishes pretty much the same thing. This is a really cool tool. This is a very cool tool to use when you're shooting out in the sun and you want to get rid of some harsh sunlight. The other cool thing that I like to do is use the black side of the reflector material to generate what we call negative fill. And what negative fill is essentially disallowing ambient light back into your frame. Well, that sounds complex, but it's not. It just means that even if you're using a strobe or a flash, there's light that's bouncing around the room or outside. It's bouncing off a house or a lawn. Light off the lawn is a real pain because it has a tendency to turn under your subject's chin really green. And that's horrifying. So what you can do is take that black piece and just put it on the ground down in front of them and keep that light from bouncing up off the lawn, and bang, the green goes away. The other thing you can do is if you have light coming in this side, like we do in this case, you can eliminate it to add more drama to make your shadows deeper, if indeed that's your intention. Or if you don't want to do the diffusion, maybe you want a complete shadow on this side, you can do the same thing and generate really true shade as opposed to just diffused light, depending upon your situation. It's very handy. If you have two of these, putting them one on either side of your subject is a really unique lighting effect that you've seen some very famous portrait photographers use. Try it, and I think you'll get some interesting results. Well, to sum up, to answer the question, do I need a reflector? No, it's exactly what I said the first time. You don't need a reflector. Should you have a reflector? Well, I would suggest that you go out and buy yourself a flash before you buy yourself anything else. Oh, this is an interesting part of the demo that was unexpected, but very common. If you're using stands to hold reflectors up, they blow over all the time. It's a real pain. It's always better to have an assistant out there to help you, or try and get someplace where there's you can block the wind. Makes a whole lot more sense. I'm just going to chuck these on the ground here for the moment because it's really getting breezy. Good parts, they're very portable. You can take this reflector, pretty good size one now, hold it up, and it's not a lot to carry. Pretty light, it's handy. So if I was buying equipment, and I have in the past many times, get your camera, get some source of artificial light, probably a speed light, something that's portable. And the third thing, buy a reflector. Enjoy your study of light. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay, just for giggles, you saw me fold up the little one. The size of this sucker. Holding these things up, not so easy. I hang the case up over here, so I hopefully don't lose it. The trick is put your foot down on the bottom, right? And then twist. And then bingo, there you go. That's a special bonus.
Shall we begin?